Psychedelics and plant medicines can be a direct portal to your unconscious mind. They can be an incredible tool on your spiritual and personal development journey. They are something that have helped me profoundly over the last year of my awakening journey. And there's something that also helped people all around me that I know. They're gaining popularity for help with things like depression and dealing with trauma, and also for helping you with shadow work. So with plant medicines giving you a direct link to the unconscious mind and the collective unconscious, you are it's going to magnify your shadow while you're in the experience. So as it amplifies your shadow, and while you're in the trip, this is like a catalyst for your self-discovery to understand like what lies beneath the surface, those conditionings that kind of are running your life that you're not aware of. So if you have repressed emotions, fears, beliefs about like money or relationships that are kind of holding you back and keeping you attracting the same difficult experiences, like on a trip, it could be amplified. Now, just a disclaimer, I believe every trip takes you where you need to go, especially with psilocybin, which is where most of my experience is. But like it said that ayahuasca takes you where you need to go. Mushrooms, they take you where you need to go. They will hold you, but they will show you what you need to see about yourself. And the trips can vary. Some of them can be really uncomfortable. Some of them can be really beautiful and enlightening, but all of them are helping you see parts of yourself that you are not conscious of and shine a light on your shadows. So this has real potential to help you heal those inner wounds, sit with those uncomfortable emotions. And if you have the right intention for your trip, then your integration after is going to be easier because you're going into a psychedelic or plant medicine experience with an intention to see something, to learn something about yourself. So then your integration after, which is the most important part of working with plant medicines, your integration after is smoother because you kind of know what you're working with. You know, like you are already aware of what you're being asked to heal. So you're able to take that forward into your daily life. So plant medicines like psilocybin can help you reveal like fears, memories, emotions that lie in the shadow. And so your shadow is the unconscious part of your ego that is unconsciously running your life. So these fears and emotions are running your life, and you're projecting them out into the world until you're able to see them and integrate them. So as you're on this journey of inner healing, spiritual development, you're able to like see this shadow, integrate it, and become the whole true self. So being aware of what lies in the unconscious is really helpful so that you can be free of it. So be free of the matrix or be free of the mind. And then you're able to work with your journey to evolve and create a life outside of your conditioning. And this is the most beautiful part about shadow work, is stepping closer to that wholeness and to this potential, creative potential that you have within you. And people will go into a psychedelic experience wanting to meet God, wanting to experience like the higher power. But I believe that you can only truly experience that when you've begun your shadow work journey, when you've begun to face your unconscious stuff that holds you back, that keeps you stuck in the small self, that keeps you living from fear and from ego. If plant medicines have come into your life, if shadow work has come into your life, you're being asked to start living a conscious life. So you can use psychedelic experiences to help you elevate your consciousness. And in order to do that, you have to face what lies in your shadow, what is lurking in the shadows that are crying out to be seen. All of this, though, can become really overwhelming without integration, without proper tips and tools and support in your integration. So say you've taken mushrooms for the first time and you don't have a meditation practice, you don't have a spiritual practice already, like, it's going to be really overwhelming to then, oh my God, I've seen all of this stuff and now I don't know what to do with it. So you're maybe inclined to ignore it, forget about it. But if you forget about it and you don't then implement what you've learned, you're not going to, like, you don't learn the lesson. So you're going to have to redo it. Like, it doesn't just happen in the trip. It's not just what happens in the trip. It's what happens in your daily life after. So integration and learning the lessons you're being asked to learn, heal the emotions you're being asked to heal, actually doing the difficult thing, that's where the gold in this work lies. And that's where you make real change internally and in your external reality. So you can integrate through journaling. Now, I've created a shadow work and dream work bundle that might help you on this journey. There are 30 days of journal prompts, an intensive shadow work guide and dream work guide. And maybe you've had a trip and you've noticed how trippy your dreams get after, but also dreams are working with archetypes and symbols. Your unconscious mind speaks in archetype and symbol. Plant medicines will show you archetypes and symbol, and you'll have realizations that you've don't have a logical explanation for. Learning how to interpret your dreams will also help you learn how to interpret your trips. So you can use, like, they swap over. It's like a holistic tool to help you interpret what your unconscious mind is sharing with you. If you want to learn more about that bundle, you can just click the link in the description. Talking to a community coach, guide, friends who are able to fully support you in your highest evolution. Maybe don't speak to people who don't understand the qualities, the positive effects psychedelics can have, but speak to somebody who is qualified in psychedelic integration, Jungian coaching, any kind of therapy you're interested in, but just make sure, like, you're comfortable in sharing your full experience with them first. Like, trust is a huge thing in seeking support in your integration. And things like meditation are gonna help you understand your mind more. You need to learn how to process the emotions. In that bundle I just mentioned, there's also a meditation in there to help you sit with and work with emotion. But you need to learn how to process the emotions that are coming up. One of the beautiful things about psychedelics is that you are able to fully sit with an emotion and feel it and release it and cry it out while you're going through the experience. But that emotion might show up again, and it might show up as a projection onto somebody else. So you're going to keep on being asked to sit with it and work with it. You can use creativity to process emotions, so art, writing, as well as like going out in nature, like actually screaming and just being actively letting the energy move through you is also going to help in your integration. This journey means being comfortable with yourself as well, like spending time alone if you need to, as well as leaning on friends. Like, being okay in silence is going to be one of a really like strong tool for you in this as well. It's a self-discovery journey, right? So get comfortable with yourself. And in my experience, your journeys with plant medicines will evolve the more you integrate your shadow. So you will be able to go deeper the more you deal with like the surface level stuff. And your shadow will show up more the further you go on. And then when you have like integrated enough of your shadow, you're able to see, like, you're in this flow of seeing the projections, seeing what's being shown from your unconscious mind, working with the emotions, healing the blocks. When you're doing that, you're then able to allow more light in, so more light comes in. So those intuitive messages come in, you experience more of that God connection, that connection to divinity. Things like Kundalini rising start, like your Kundalini starts to rise and wake up. You might experience more energy flowing throughout your body in a psychedelic trip. And other things like might start to happen psychically or in your energy system. So some really, like, the deeper you go and the more clear you are with your intention for your plant medicine journey practice, the more your journey and you will evolve. So I really want to highlight the importance of setting an intention for your journey, and whether it's to get to know yourself, to heal a particular wound, to see something, to receive a message, like to understand a problem. Like with microdosing, you can solve a creative problem, like sit down with your journal after a microdose and journal out on the problem and see what comes up with, because we have more access to creative solutions outside of the ego conditioning. So your intention is really important, and integration is really important. So knowing what to do in daily life after the trip. The trip isn't over when you start to come round, like the journey continues. Some journal prompts for you. If you are exploring psychedelics and shadow work, because I know so many people have come to me after a trip and said, like, I really need help understanding like the archetypes that I'm seeing, like understanding why I keep dreaming about my ex, understanding like what this symbol means. I keep being showing a triangle with an eye. What does it mean? And so like Jungian shadow work specifically, and Carl Jung's work, his like map of our psyche really, really helps us on the psychedelic journey. So the two go hand in hand. So really, really pay attention if this is where you're being called to go. So some journal prompts for you. What insights or emotions surfaced during my psychedelic experience, and how do they relate to my shadow? And how can I incorporate the lessons from my journey into my daily life for healing and growth? That's the integration bit. I hope that this has helped you. I would love to hear your experiences. I would love to hear any questions, any insights. Please pop them in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. If you're interested in learning how I can help you integrate after a psychedelic experience, please just reach out. You can just drop me an email. My email is in the description. And I have the shadow work and dream work bundle available to help you on your shadow work journey, which again is in the description below. I hope that you have a beautiful day and a wonderful trip.